Introduction to Protists. On our tour to the study of diversity of living organisms, we first studied viruses and then we switched to bacteria, which are prokaryotes, meaning thereby they don't have membrane-bound organelles like nucleus or chloroplasts or mitochondria. So now we are switching to simplest eukaryotes, which are protists. They actually lie at crossroads between the simplest organisms and the complex organism. Simplest are prokaryotes or bacteria, and the complex ones are eukaryotes. Protist is defined by exclusion. This means that the organism which can't be placed in other eukaryotic kingdoms like fungi or animalia or plant kingdom, they are placed in protist. Actually they come under the category of none of the above. कि अगर हमारे पास कोई MCQ है कि उसमें एक प्रोटिस्ट की एग्जांपल दी हुई है लाइक दैट ऑफ अमीबा कि पुट इट इन A, B, C और D कि इसमें से कोई एक ऑप्शन को आप क्लिक करें या टिक करें, तो ऑप्शन A हो सकती है फंजाई, ऑप्शन B हो सकती है प्लांट्स, एंड ऑप्शन C कैन बी एनिमल्स एंड D कैन बी नन ऑफ द अबव. तो वी विल टिक नन ऑफ द अबव फॉर अमीबा. So none of the above category is actually protists. Protists have few unifying features, like they are eukaryotes and they are unicellular mostly, but they may be colonial or multicellular forms. And they are aquatic, which may be freshwater or they may be marine or they may be living in terrestrial soil, लेकिन उसमें भी they may need wet soil actually. There is a statement that eukaryotes arose from prokaryotes, and for this we have endosymbiosis theory, which suggests that early prokaryotes originated from mitochondria and chloroplast, कि एक organism था जिसने engulf किया mitochondria और किसी और organism को prokaryote को engulf किया और which then became mitochondria or chloroplast. We can better explain this theory in this figure. You can see here that photosynthetic prokaryote, when is ingested by an ancestral host cell, it became chloroplast. Same as when an aerobic heterokaryotic prokaryote was ingested by an ancestral host cell, it became mitochondria. Protists show remarkable variation in cell organization or life cycles or patterns of cell division. So that is why it is known that they are not monophyletic. Actually they are paraphyletic. They have more than one ancestors. So classifying protist is a different job because it is an artificial category. So different we will see how the Kingdom Protista arose or how it gained the position of a kingdom actually. In 1861, John Hogg placed microscopic organisms including bacteria and other organisms like the organisms which are now placed in Protista into Protista actually kingdom. And then in 1866, Ernest Haeckel devised Kingdom Protista, and he placed the bacteria and the organisms which are now placed in Protista in that, and which are actually eukaryotic. लेकिन उन्होंने ऐसा किया कि एक prokaryotic organisms के लिए या blue green algae के लिए उन्होंने एक अलग division बनाई जिसे उन्होंने Monera का नाम दिया उस group को. And then in 1938 Herbert Copeland ने Monera को एक kingdom का रुतबा दिया, and then this Protista was exclusive for these organisms. And in 1969, Robert Whittaker placed unicellular eukaryotes in the Kingdom Protista, but now it is known that multicellular eukaryotes are also placed in Kingdom Protista. So we know that they have a variety of life cycles or cell organization patterns, or they have different cell surfaces or locomotory organs in them. We will see one by one the biology or the general organization of the Kingdom Protista. Looking at the cell surface, many protists like amoebas have a cell membrane surrounding the cell, whole cell, and they don't have any external cell surface. While in algae and molds, they are surrounded by the cell walls too. In another group like diatoms and foraminifers, they have glassy shells of silica actually. You can see here the foraminifers and that of diatoms. Talking about the locomotory organs, they have actually flagellum, which is whip-like structure, or many small flagella-like structure in them, which is called as cilia, like in paramecium, or they may have pseudopodia, which is present in amoeba. They are finger-like projections, or they have thin projections or branch projections, which are called philopodia, and they have thin and long projections, which are called as exopodia. So these all are locomotory organs in protists. They form cyst because few delicate species can have to withstand different environmental conditions. To withstand the environmental conditions, they develop cyst around themselves, and actually it has a dormant form of cells. और जैसे ही favorable conditions आती हैं तो they regain their growth और they become active then. The other factor is that of nutrition. There are protists which are phototrophs. They obtain their energy themselves, or they are photosynthetic. And the other category is that of heterotrophs. They obtain their food from other organisms. और heterotrophs में भी दो categories हैं, phagotrophs और holozoic feeders. ये वो organisms हैं जो कि visible food particle को ingest करते हैं और internally उसे digestion का process उनमें होता है. And then we have osmotrophs और saprotrophs जो कि soluble form में food को ingest करते हैं कि वो externally जो है वो digestible form में होती है. And so this is the second category. And talking about the reproduction, they have both asexual reproductions phenomena, which may include fission process, or they have spores or budding. We have idea of these processes, and then they have various form of sexual reproduction too. Now we know that they have three major groups of Protista. Number one is animal-like protists, which are called protozoans. Number second category is the algae, which are plant-like protists, and then we have fungal-like protists.